You can make Eternal's graphics look a lot like Classic in the new render mode of Update 2, and a lot more. Let's show you how to do that. I'm Alston. Now you want to go to your options, your video, scroll all the way down to the brand new render mode. There's a bunch of options here, a couple of carryovers from 2016. I'm going to show you each a little really quick, and then we'll go to the classic and a couple other things. First off, Gritty. This is a carryover from Doom 2016. Gives me some Left 4 Dead kind of vibes, gives you that dark, well, gritty look to it. You can see it's still pretty clear, everything is very easy to see. However, some of the ones we're going to look at are really wild. Black and White coming up next. If you lose an extra life, it kind of looks like that, except the whole time it really gives you that film noir effect. Everything is still very clear in view, and it's a really nice touch. It's kind of cool. Now we're going to go to VHS. I'm really showing my age here. If you do know what this is, or if you don't, comment below, take a guess. This shows you the little lines as if you were looking at a VHS tape or watching that, and it's kind of neat to see. The Eternal is rendered in this way. Look at the flame on that meat hook. That looks pretty sweet. Next up, Retro Console. If you're playing on a SNES or something like that, oh man, as a 90s kid, this really brings it back to me. It really gives that vibe of those old CRT TVs, just that old school vibe right here in Eternal. It's a nice touch. I have to give it to the devs. They know that the player base loves that old school stuff, as evidenced by some of the new skins and things inside of this update. And now definitely going back with the retro. This is the Game Boy. This is a Game Boy, that's what it is. You remember the old, not the Color, the Game Boy Color was the last one I owned actually. This is a true old school big 4 AA battery, thick THICC Game Boys right here. Oh man, it'd be tough to play around like this considering it's definitely something older now. You remember having to use the worm lights with your Game Boy Colors? Well, that's even newer than this old school edition right here. These retro throwbacks are basically a piece of my childhood here, man. Now this is only the first of 2 videos on the update that I'm going to release. The next one is going to be about some enemy and boss changes that you need to know. One of them is kind of sneaky, so be sure to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss that. Next up, Dots. It's a really dark one. It's kind of tough to see. I'm not too sure I'm digging this one as much, at least in this map. Maybe it would be better somewhere else, but it's kind of tricky to see at least when you're running the dots. You can see a lot of dots on the screen. My ultimate favorite, Cinematic. Look how beautiful, magnificent, isn't it? As Samuel has said. Oh man. Look at the luster and the shine and the glisten on that super shotgun whenever I go into the light. Oh man, it's awesome. And of course, all of these work in photo mode. I'm showing off, of course, the Cinematic and Sentinel Prime. I'm on low graphics, recording at 1080, playing at 1080, and man, I really like the way this one looks. This is probably my favorite one for Sentinel Prime, or really maybe anywhere. Switching gears back to classic mode, you can see that the cutscenes, like I mentioned, are reflected with whatever you're rendering as, and you see this is really that gritty old school vibe as we see the Doom guy himself, so it's a perfect rendering for this scene right here.
Guts. Huge guts.
And of course, if you're going to play classic in Eternal, you gotta use the right skin. So we're going to basically make classic even more classicer, if that's a word or if that's even a real thing, I don't even know. But look at the pixelation, look at the 90s in full effect right here. This has to take you back with that nostalgia and all of those good memories, even though they are a little bit pixelated. But hey, classic Doom is one of the greatest games of all time. And if you disagree with me, we'll settle it over a deathmatch. We'll take a deeper look at the icon fight here. You know, you can only shoot rockets at his head in the first phase because that's the way the game naturally goes. In phase 2, you can do whatever you want to. You can do the rockets to the head if you're feeling old school. If not, that's okay too. I'm curious on which one of these is your favorite. Comment below and let me know. This is the first of 2 videos I have that are going to be covering Update 2. The next one is going to talk about some gameplay changes that weren't exactly totally spelled out in the patch notes that you need to know about that will change things up for a couple big fights in Eternal. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see that and not miss out, like the video, and help with the support as we approach 1,000 subs at the time of this video. My name is Alston. Check out one of the other videos here, and thank you for watching.